Hello everyone, this is Sunny from Sun's English. As you may know, and perhaps unfortunately, English is a compulsory subject for the HSC. And going into year 11, most students choose between advanced or standard English. But it's not a good idea for you to just choose standard English without much thought just because you don't like English or you don't want to put in that much effort into the subject. Let's have a look at some statistics together. So, out of the 24,661 students who sat the English Advanced examination in 2022, 14.5% of students received the Band 6 and 52.6% of students received the Band 5. Let's have a look at Standard English then. In 2022, out of the 30,646 students who sat the English Standard examination, 0.56% of students received the Band 6 and only 15% of students received the Band 5. You may be thinking that it is a given that students who take up advanced will be better at English and therefore get higher marks in the HSC, but it's not only really about your English ability. Your HSC mark goes through a process called alignment, and advanced students have it much better than the standard students, wherein advanced marks align a lot better. More details on the alignment process will be coming, but in today's video, we'll just focus on the differences between standard and advanced English and if it is really worth dropping to standard just because you don't want to put in much thought and effort into the subject. Now let's have a look at English Advanced. English Advanced is divided into Paper 1 and Paper 2. Paper 1 is the common module that is made up of 20 marks of short answer responses and an essay that is worth 20 marks. In Paper 2, it is divided up into Module A, B, and C, each section worth 20 marks. Throughout year 12, students will study 4 prescribed texts that they'll need to write an essay on for the common module, Module A, and Module B. Though there are only 3 modules that require students to write analytical essays, there are 4 prescribed texts as students study 2 prescribed texts for Module A. Also, for advanced, one of these essays will need to be on a Shakespearean text. Now, let's have a look at how different English Standard is then. English Standard is also divided into Paper 1 and Paper 2, and in the case of the common module, it is also on the topic of text and human experiences, just like English Advanced. In 2021, according to UAC, in the short answer section, 3 questions worth 10 marks in total were shared between Standard and Advanced, and with the essay question worth 20 marks being shared, a total of 30 marks have been shared between the 2 courses. Now, looking at Paper 2, like Advanced, Standard is also divided into Mod A, Mod B, and C. They sound very similar, right? So, what are the differences? The first difference is that you study easier text and write about easier concepts. The second difference is that you don't have to study a Shakespearean text. But there is another big difference, and that is in alignment. Many students think that English Standard just doesn't scale as well as Advanced, and yes, Advanced does indeed scale better than Standard, but there is also a big difference in how the marks are aligned. Alignment in simple terms refers to the process in which NESA considers the unique circumstances that surround the results for a subject each year, in arranging the marks to better reflect the HSC band cutoff requirements. A more detailed video on alignment is coming, but going back to what we were talking about, the marks for advanced English align a lot better than standard. Let's have a look at some other statistics together. So, according to UAC, in 2021, if you're in the top 10% for advanced, the marks were aligned to be 91 out of 100, so band 6. But in standard, the marks were aligned to be 82 out of 100. And if you see here, there's no difference between the marks for being the top 25% for advanced versus being the top 1% for standard. But if you're in the top 25% for standard, the marks aligned to be 77 out of 100, which is quite a big difference with the 88 out of 100 for advanced. In fact, being in the top 50% for advanced will mean that you'll still get a band 5, but for standard, it's kind of a different story as you'll be able to scrape a band 4. So essentially, a band 5 and 6 for English advanced is possible if you're willing to put in the effort, and in fact, you need to be at the bottom 5% to get a band 3. But in the case of English Standard, where marks don't align very well, only 0.56% of students get a band 6. And if you just choose Standard to take it easy in English, then it's really easy to fall to a band 3 because as you can see in 2022, 32.8% of students received a band 3. Of course, you get into your desired course with your ATA, not your specific HSC marks and bands, but there are courses that do require you to receive a certain HSC band, and therefore HSC marks and bands are still quite relevant and important. Thus, unless you don't have the option to take up English Advanced, or you struggle significantly in comprehending text and concepts in English, I would personally advise you to think carefully about choosing or dropping to standard English. Again, I would like to reiterate, please do not choose standard just because you want to take it easy or you don't want to put in effort for English, and think carefully about what course will suit your needs best. So that is the end of today's video. Hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you guys again soon.